Dead battery, no gas, flat tire. I freaking hate this car. All right, I've had this thing in here long enough. Winter is over. I gotta do something with it because I haven't even given it a wash since the day we bought it. So today we're gonna wash it, we're gonna buff it, and see if we can bring the original paint back to life. That way I can at least drive it and have it be somewhat presentable. I mean, obviously there's nothing I can do with this stuff. I got a delay from my brother. He keeps pushing me back and pushing me back. He's the Nissan specialist. He restores old Nissans. This is going to him soon. I hope. I don't know, Adam, if you're watching this, what the heck, man? I want this car on the road and looking pretty. I have boxes and boxes of stuff from China and Russia that luckily showed up before everything got all messed up. But now this car's just sitting around. I want to drive it. She's dead, so we got a jumper. Let's see. Come on, baby. Yes. Decided to be working on the Skyline. Look at this area right here. I'm using a POR15 on everything, and I'm spraying it out of a truck bed gun, so it's giving it a texture. This is awesome. Next day, let's check out the finished product of the Skyline. Oh my goodness, I love this product. Look at how mint these floors are. And even like the drips are solidly hard. It's not like rubber or anything. Oh, I love it. Here's the trunk of the Skyline. That looks pretty presentable, actually. So we're gonna have fresh black undercarriage and wheel wells, and then fresh paint on the entire car. While the Skyline is here, I thought I'd take a minute to refinish the wheels. So today, we're gonna repaint the wheels. My brother says don't because they're JDM SSR rims, but they're ugly. You know, they're all chipped and pitted. The only question is, do I go gunmetal, silver, or back to white? And that I'm not positive about. So I removed the wheels and I gave them really good sanding and then a wash before we paint them. While the wheels are off, I thought it was a perfect opportunity to paint the calipers red. Now that it's dry, I'm just going to take some sandpaper and sand the Nissan section so that comes out and it'll look like an aluminum polished color. So after a couple coats of caliper paint and let it harden, I sand just the Nissan logo for a nice finish. If you don't want to hand sand it, you can actually take an angle grinder with a heavy grit sandpaper and go right over it as well, and it gives it a really nice machined look. And now I'm just going to clear it and we're done. Finished product and the calipers, check those things out. We have like a machined finish on the Nissan, that looks so good. You don't worry about this, it'll wear off when I hit the brakes. Finished product. Nice gloss. I'll check this one out too. So for anybody curious, that's what I'm going for. That color is like a metallic cranberry, and that is what I will be doing with this one. I haven't done this since I bought it 8 months ago, and it is on there good. Now, I bought this car last summer on an impulse on an auction website on my phone. It showed up, I just didn't have the time for it, so I let the car kind of sit and just collect dust. I mean, I literally haven't done anything until you're watching what I'm doing in this video. So this is its first car wash in 8 months, and then at least I know what I'm working with, and I'm gonna start detailing it. And the end goal is to get it prepped and ready, so all my brother has to do is the body work, put the body kit on, and paint it. It had just been imported from Japan with all the legal paperwork and even an American title now. Now I'm also going for like a GTR look. I don't want it to just look like a GTS-T, so I had to buy all of my parts from like Russia and China and Japan, and with the shipping embargo and like the trade delays, everything is number one, overpriced, and number two, taking forever to arrive. Honestly though, this is the stuff I really enjoy doing. I love detailing cars and bringing things back to life. So I don't even care about painting it myself. My brother's really good at that. I just like making things look as good as they possibly can the way they are. Now this RB25 is the original engine. Everything in there is pretty dirty, and there's no shine or like any fluff to it. It's just really kind of a stock, old-looking engine. So I'm going to try to bring this thing back to life as well and make it pop. I'm going to give you a little tip. When cleaning metal, soap pads work great. Not so much steel wool. The soap pads do, because there's soap in the steel wool and they come out amazing. I love these soap pads. They work on everything. I used to shine up my chrome bicycles even as a kid with them, and it just gets rid of all the rust and old debris. I've also been sitting for a while. These work great at cleaning glass. So I'm gonna do half the glass, rinse it off, and show you what a difference. Just because this car's been sitting a while, there's like overspray, dust, dirt. After I cleaned it, I taped everything off, masked it, and then we painted it with a brilliant silver. The intake tube. This will make a big difference in the car. Then I can put the cam angle sensor back on and the throttle cable. Big difference. I wish I had time to take the valve cover off, but I don't today. So 8-9 months ago, I ordered a bunch of parts from Japan and Russia. Some showed up, some didn't. When the boxes arrived, it kind of just piled them up. I don't even know what I have anymore. Obviously, that's a bumper. I'm gonna open everything up and see what we have to put towards that Skyline. Here we go. Bumper, inserts, side skirt. I swear I got the spats for back here too, but they never showed up. And the other thing I need to buy is this silvia, not the silvia grill, the GTR grill right there. I think I got some parts overnighted from Japan. Yeah, let's see what showed up. It was wrapped really, really well. Carbon fiber. Check that out. It's so light too. All right, big day. Today, the Skyline gets painted. Huge deal. I'm super excited about this. This car goes to my brother's to get painted. So that is like the end of this series, and then we move on to my brother. My mechanic went through it 3 times, just to, it's frustrating. I'm not gonna say anything bad about him, but it's extremely frustrating. He went through it 3 times. There's a fuel leak. Okay, it's fixed. I get in it. I bought a battery for it. Guess what? Battery's not put in the car, so the battery's dead. So the battery is still no good in this car. Then I go to drive it to my brother's house. Guess what? We run out of freaking gas because the gas leak wasn't fixed. Had to make a run to the Home Cheapo, so I gave her a filler up of premium fuel. Come out to the Home Depot and find this right here. Looks like I have myself a fuel leak. Great. So dead battery, gas wasn't fixed. So I brought it to my brother's house and he said, I can't work on it like this. You gotta take it back and fix it, which is completely understandable. I get here, there's a freaking flat tire. So now, dead battery, no gas, flat tire. I freaking hate this car. The idea of it was supposed to be so cool, and I've just had bad experiences and I hate it now. A must-have for all car people, compressed air tank to fill up your tires on the go. My tire is now full. All right, my brother's jump pack was stone dead, and I didn't bring my jump packs because he said, oh, I have a jump pack, it's charged. But we are good. We jumped it with my Jeep and I am on my way. As long as I don't run out of gas, we are good. But it says we have a quarter of a tank, so we should be okay. We're gonna go through the whole car again tomorrow, fix the fuel leak, change the battery, and bring it back here to get painted. I'll tell you what, the hardest part about driving a JDM right-hand drive car is the directionals and the wipers. So you automatically want to turn your left directional down on your left side, right? Oh, that's your wipers. So where are your directionals? They're on the right side. Up is left, down is right. Normal common sense thing, everything's backwards. It's just you're used to a certain way of doing things and everything's opposite. Yeah, that right there would be a good amount of gas leaking out of my parking lot. Let me throw some cardboard so I'm gonna cover it up. Well, since the Skyline is back at my shop, it's got to go back to my brother's because we had to do some repairs to it. So there's a fuel leak I had to take care of. We swapped the battery out, but while it's here, there's a couple other things I want to take care of. You'll see right here, this is kind of coming down. Well, I peeled it back and I used some spray adhesive. Now, be careful using this stuff. You don't want to get it all over your clean trim. Sprayed it on the fabric, and I'm just going to take my 5-in-1 tool and tuck this back in. And now that the adhesive is back behind the fabric, you can see no more problems. Now I use this because I don't want to get the adhesive all over my fingers. It's just a real pain to have on you all day long. So, like it never happened before. The other thing we did yesterday, we did the wheels and calipers. These things were a little ugly, so we sprayed the wheels. I am going to touch the tires up. I didn't want to dismount the tires because they were just mounted and balanced. I have a tire mounter, but I don't have a balancer. I just didn't want them to be all out of whack. And I'm going to touch up the tires today, or just get that extra overspray off. Calipers are done, wheels are done. I'm going to clean up the valve cover today. Engine looks great. We did the battery, we did the fuel leak. Now I can get it to my brother Adam's for him to go at it with some paint. Nissan Skyline RB25 before. While the car was here, I wanted to trim out the engine a little bit, so I removed the valve cover, taped it off, and we tried to paint it more towards the color that we're going for with the car. Ah, so satisfying. While the car was here, I decided I'll clean the interior before I bring it back to my brother's. So the interior is pretty mint. On top of that, I did the engine. So let's check out the finished product of the engine. That is amazing. And that's pretty much the color that the car is gonna go. And now, you know, I'm here, I'm going through it, I just want it to be done. I'm gonna try to get all this stuff off, and I think it's just gonna scrape off. Yeah, look at that. It's gonna come right off. So I'll be right back with this off the headlights. Headlight number 2 finished. Now let's see if we can clean those up. I started wet sanding the headlights and I had to stop because I want to show you this. Look at the nastiness that's coming off this headlight, watch. It's green. That is disgusting. So this should be pretty nice actually when I'm finished. This is crazy. I've never seen it come off green before. So now I'm using 1000 grit, and you can actually see inside the headlight this time. So from here, swirl marks, 1000 grit's getting the swirl marks out. Then I'll go to a 15, then a 2000, then diamond cut, then a polish. These headlights should come out okay. And you can see even with 2000 grit, it's still coming off white. And you want to polish these or sand these, wet sand these, until there's no more color coming off the headlights. So a headlight like this, it's going to take a while. The only way to do it is with some muscle and some sweat. Now if you listen to when I started sanding the headlights versus now, you can tell the difference in how smooth it is. I want you to see all these swirl marks right here. I'm using a 2000 grit wet sanding. Watch what it looks like when I'm done. Here they are wet sanded. And now we're going to buff them. Here I used a diamond cut and also a rubbing compound. So I used 2 different compounds 2 different times, and you can already see how much better they're starting to look. Before, after. After a diamond cut. You can even see they're starting to get more glossy too. After scratch and swirl remover polish. That is amazing. And the GTR style front grille actually went in super easy. The original just popped out with 5 clips, and that bolted right in. This spot's driving me crazy. I even got my youngest to help me out on this project. Okay? And then, you want to scrub? Yeah. Yeah, let me get the hood and you can get the rest of the car, okay?
Sides?
Yep, the sides.
I'm going to do the entire car.
Putting the little one to work today. Go ahead, give it a good scrub.
I heard that.
Yeah. Now, as far as the interior goes, I did the boots, which I'm really, really pleased about. These came out awesome, and they really changed the look of the car. One thing I didn't notice of all the times I've driven is this little arm right here that makes it easier to get my seatbelt. That's kind of cool. I've never noticed that before in all the time I've had this car. Well, last day of the Skyline in my possession. It's going to my brother's tomorrow, and I have to say, I'm kind of glad that it came back to us for another week because I spent a lot of time and attention to detail in this car, and to be honest with you, it's pretty presentable the way it is. I did the headlights, I put the grill in, that GTR style grill or that M-Spec grill, I washed the car, I did the wheels, I did the calipers, and you know, just for aesthetics, I kind of cleared over some really dull areas just to make it look presentable so I can get an idea of what it's going to look like. And the car looks nice. I mean, I'm pretty proud of it. This car would turn my head if it drove by me on the street. Now, the interior is my favorite. This is an all original interior. Look at how nice the seats are, the upholstery, the carpets, the dash isn't cracked. It actually looks like a 42,000 mile car, which is what's so unbelievable about this. And now, I bring it home to go to my brother's tomorrow. Another Skyline update, and hey, you guys know the game. What are we driving? It might be a little tough to tell because of what's going on right here. But there's a Skyline bumper, the GTR or Spec 2, I've been told in the Skyline forums, or a bunch of savages. Don't make a mistake in a Facebook group or they will eat you alive. My Spec 2 bumper is on its way to my brother's house along with my little girl. You okay in there?
Not really.
Here, let me help you out with that.
I'm free.
Watch yourself. There we go. This bumper, this stupid JDM Skyline bumper was like $800. Everything has to be imported. Like, you can't just buy this stuff anywhere. And if you do, it's cheapo fiberglass, which you don't want. Like, I want an OEM direct fit bumper for my Skyline. So that's, you know, should make a big difference.
That's what it goes to?
Yeah, that's the bumper for my Skyline. All right, how's it feel being on the wrong side of the car?
I feel like I'm gonna like drive.
Yeah, right?
Imagine we get pulled over, they go to this
They
window.
would go to your window, right?
Yeah.
I think it would throw the police officer off a little bit. So we're going to Uncle Abba's house to drop off my Nissan Skyline for paint, which I'm really excited about. So next time you see this car, it's gonna be like a whole new car. So that's really fun. So your graveyard, this is your parts cars, right?
I wouldn't call them that. I'd call them future projects.
Wow. So you have all S13s. That's your thing.
Yeah,
that's your shtick.
That's what I like.
All right. That one's your most recent.
Yep.
Does it run?
It might.
It might.
It could.
The top works.
Yep.
Power top works.
It's possible.
Oh, and you have another one.
I have 6.
Want to sell those wheels?
Nope.
Those would look so good on my Skyline.
You can try them on.
Yeah. Can I borrow them while this sits here?
Yeah.
I like what you did with the roof. That is sharp.
You want to see this engine?
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, look at that.
Doggy.
Did you do that valve cover?
I did. That's a 5150 custom paint job.
Wow. That's sharp. Cool. I want to show you guys something. He has a sign from Flying Wheels and won't give it to me. He has the original Flying Wheels sign that strangely came with his house when he bought this house. That place is where I used to ride my BMX bikes to when I was a child, and that's where I got the name Flying Wheels from. So
Me
fun
too.
fact. And he won't give me the sign.
How can I take a bike sign out of this room?
Here's what I'm thinking. The car is red. I want it jammed out. I want the whole 9. But I want to stay close to this color. So I'm thinking this color with like some metallic, candy-ish something to make it pop more. I don't want just like burgundy. I want it to be like vibrant and wow. I want some wow to it.
Gotcha.
And I want it jammed all the way out, and the under the hood and the trunk, all that stuff. Same thing you did in my
You're doing all the jams?
Yeah.
All right.
Right?
I thought you didn't want to.
I don't want to shoot.
Yeah.
Scuff and shoot.
The spray and pray?
I don't want to spray and shoot. No, I want it to like, I want to open the doors, and I want it to match all of it, flow.
No problem.
I mean, I don't need the carpets done and stuff.
Carpets?
Yeah, you don't have to pull the carpets and seats out. And then tell me what you think about the hood. Like, you can get all in here, right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
What's
I
up
want
with the
all
hood?
that. What would you do here?
And the engine bay? Well, it's got a lot of accessories. So you got a couple of options. I can do a lot of masking or a lot of removal and reinstallation, or a little bit of both.
Now, if I go red on the car. Like the idea of going red is so everything kind of flows with the original color.
Yeah.
Can you go from just the fenders out?
Yeah, definitely.
What's your opinion?
You know, people want to see your engine when you pull up to a car show, especially in the Skyline. So,
and this would be in the better.
Yeah, when you want to show
glossy.
off your engine bay, it'd be nice to show and everything shines and matches, and
Everyone's gonna want that.
yeah, you know, you don't want to pop your hood and people go, oh. Yeah, so I mean, we could do a partial paint in the engine bay if you want to, or we can just stop at the fender line and go out.
No, you're right.
You know, pull the radiator brackets, you can mask off the decals, pull the intake and the reservoir over there, mask off a bunch of the stuff, and you know, just get some color in there so it looks clean and cohesive.
All right, so for what this car is, I want that. I want to open the hood.
I agree.
And like, oh, nice.
Yeah,
I
and the bottom side of the hood
and
too.
the bottom side of the hood also. Yeah.
Right.
I don't want a ricey car.
Yeah.
I just want it to be like a clean 90s car, my generation. It's a sharp looking car.
Light rice is good rice.
So are you saying this is light rice? Or?
It's light rice, but I'd paint it.
Okay.
I would paint it.
Let's paint it then. When the headlights are out, can you give them to me? Because I want to pull. I think you can like heat this up and kind of melt to pull the plastic off, can't you? The lenses?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to because the inside is pretty cloudy as well.
It's possible, definitely. But you know, it stinks up your house and you have to put it in your oven. So
Right.
the wife might be mad.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, I'm gonna leave it and it's all yours.
Cool.
All right. What's the turnaround time so I can hold you to it on camera?
6 months to a year.
All right. Appreciate it. Let's do it.
Cool.
Thanks.
And you can bring those bumpers and stuff by anytime you want.
Hey, thanks for watching my video. This is actually part 2 of the series, so if you haven't watched part 1, make sure you check it in one of those boxes. That circle in the center is to subscribe to our channel. Otherwise, I just appreciate you guys watching my content, so thank you very much, and a thumbs up is always helpful to us. We'll see you later. Have a good one.